It's a special edition of The List.
Year Class of 2020.
We celebrate the class of 2020.
We got yard signs for all of our seniors.
Plus,
thank you to the Swift family.
A fun way you can still support a student.
And they can start sending them letters, gift cards.
But first,
I think it is a rite of passage.
A unique look at the history of the senior portrait.
In the 80s, the whole glamour type photograph appears on the scene.
That's at the top of our list right now. Hey everyone, I'm Christina Guerrero.
And I'm Shaguna Duolo. For the class of 2020, this year has not been the big finale they've been looking forward to for so long.
Yeah, no team banquets, no prom, no walking across the stage to accept their diploma.
So at The List, we decided to celebrate these seniors with a show all about them.
So to kick it off, Jimmy Rhodes looks at one tradition that has not been derailed by the pandemic, the history of the senior portrait. That's our featured story at the top of the list.
High school graduation marks the end of compulsory education. Many more schooling's voluntary and expensive. We mark this achievement with the senior picture, and I have no idea why they're all staring off in the distance like that. Hey, over here. There you go.
I think it is a rite of passage.
Paige Gorman of Portraits by Paige has seen it all.
There was a gentleman that wanted me to have laser eyes put through the cap.
So how did we get here? We're running down the history of the senior picture, starting with the boring beginning, when they lined you up at school and cranked them out.
The women would wear a shoulder strap, and the men would wear a formal suit and tie.
And somehow these presumably 18-year-olds look at least 40. Tell me this guy's not the branch president of a bank. But while color film became common in the 1960s, senior pictures stuck with black and white. Instead, the first real fad was hand-painted highlights, which had a nice Ken Burns meets circus clown nightmare vibe.
It was mainly done heavily on women, almost like adding the makeup that maybe was predominantly there. But you saw it on men as well. It also brought dimension to the photograph.
Early color film was all over the map, so sticking with black and white was largely an edict from yearbook publishers. That started changing with the advent of studio sessions.
In the 80s, photographers began to have larger studios, and so the whole glamour type photograph appears on the scene.
And those studios had storage, so bring on the props.
The white blocks where you leaned on, or the graduation numbers that were quite large and you'd lay by them.
Plus, of course, band instruments and other stuff.
Posing with fruit, different vegetables, different types of animals, and I'll be honest with you, I don't say no to any of it.
A look at Awkward Family Photos School Pictures section suggests she's not alone.
We even had backgrounds that look like you were outside.
When you're paying by the roll, you want every shot to count, so a controlled studio environment made sense. Which is why the next technical innovation was perhaps the biggest game changer, digital photography.
It gave them a lot more freedom.
The cost of throwing out a digital photo is low, so
we could really play around and be more creative.
So the photo session got wheels.
This is where we start seeing people go to different locations, travel around a little bit more. The session became a little bit more elaborate. They changed clothes a little bit more.
The final trend that influenced senior pictures? Social media.
A lot of students now are more comfortable in front of the camera, and they know what they like. So it really helps us to tailor each session, I think, toward the seniors' personality and likes.
But if you're posting photos online every day anyway, why bother with a senior photo session?
It's all about the experience. Where do you want to go? Maybe we have a hair and makeup artist that travels with us. We see underwater photography, more of like the sports type photography.
With pictures as unique as The Graduate. The history of senior pictures is at the top of the list.
This year's grads may not have a typical party to celebrate their accomplishments, but there are always alternatives. Our Teresa Strasser has some safe and creative ways to cheer on a senior.
Senior year brings about so many things, but due to the COVID-19 pandemic, most 2020 grads will never get to go to prom or attend a normal graduation. So
We wanted to come together and find out what can we do special for our seniors this year.
to learn a few ways you can celebrate the 2020 grads, we turn to giving manager of Great Hearts Academies and mother of a senior, Jackie Curtis. Starting with distributing yard signs.
Prom was canceled. Everybody was devastated. The school and the community came together and we got yard signs for all of our seniors. It was a surprise, and so when they came out, really lifted their spirits. They kind of celebrated from afar, and just were really thankful.
If you wanted to do this in your community, she recommends
I think just reaching out to any of your local businesses. There's a lot of places out there that are doing anything that they can do to help support the class of 2020.
Next up, plan a parade.
We actually did a college decision day parade. So each of the seniors decorated their car of where they're going to be going to college.
Jackie says the parade really lifted the spirits of the seniors.
Making sure that everybody could come out and have that final goodbye.
Moving along with compile supportive video messages.
Because we can't get together this year, each teacher has now been recorded, so we're all going to watch it live together on a Zoom party. While each teacher is speaking about that student, pictures will be going on in the background, just honoring that particular student.
She says even the students can make supportive messages for one another, because even though this graduation season is a bit unconventional,
You can still make the most of it and make those memories that you didn't think would be possible.
finally, remember to still take creative grad pics.
Even though you can't have a graduation, you still need to have those pictures.
So grab your cap and gown and snap away.
I've seen some of the cap and gown photos like out on the track because they couldn't finish their track season. It really comes into that full meaning of commemorative of what that year has looked like for you.
Here's to you, class of 2020. Congrats to all the grads out there.
Well, if you don't have a senior you're celebrating this year, you could always adopt a high school senior. One woman created a way for you to do just that, and she says it can have a huge impact. High school graduation is supposed to be a time of celebration where people gather and honor your accomplishments. But for the class of 2020, those iconic moments won't be possible.
I was watching the news on March 27th when our state's governor announced that schools remain closed for the rest of the school year.
So Mary Story created the Facebook page Adopt a High School Senior for her New Mexico town. And the page was widely shared and quickly went nationwide. The premise is simple. Parents post photos and others can go on and adopt them.
So then they can get addresses, emails, whatever the case is, and they can start sending them cards, letters, gift cards.
Amazon gift card.
Ooh.
Gift baskets, flowers, pizzas.
Thank you.
Whatever they want to do just to celebrate them.
Through the page, thousands of seniors have been adopted by caring strangers.
Oh my God, come on out.
Mary is sharing the benefits of adopting a senior, starting with the domino effect.
Initially, I was only thinking about like our county. I wasn't thinking outside of that.
But people caught on to Mary's idea, and now there are groups all over the country.
I just wanted to say thank you to Mary over and over again because she started this and it just created this waterfall effect of support and love.
One of Mary's own adopted seniors, Tyler Salas, says that she can't believe how big it's become.
I mean, there's people from Mexico, Canada, people from Europe.
I just want to say thank you to the Swift family.
The next benefit is building relationships.
We've had seniors message and just thank us so much for what we've done for them, starting the platform for them to connect with people that they would honestly never know in any other circumstance.
Some adoptions are even turning into mentorships. When a photo is posted to the group, it can include info like what college the student will attend next year, their major, and their career aspirations.
I don't see those relationships going away anytime soon at all.
Thank you. Thank you.
And the final benefit is that it's uplifting spirits.
How did she make you feel? Special?
Special.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Mary says that even the smallest gesture can make a huge difference.
We're just celebrating the kids in any way that we can.
It's so overwhelming because we're not going to get to have, the regular commencement and getting to walk across and stuff, but they're just rallying behind us, and so we know we're not alone.
Giving grads some glory by adopting a high school senior. Up next,
clarity equals confidence.
Steps your new job seeker can do right now.
The most important thing is...
And the biggest no-no in a video interview. Plus, digital inspiration for graduating seniors. Then, useful gifts for earning that diploma.
Big secret that not a lot of people know.
Celebrating grads continues next.
Welcome back to our special show honoring the class of 2020. Now, unfortunately, the job market these college grads are entering is going to be a challenging one for sure. To help them out, we spoke to two networking experts on what they should be doing right now to get in the game.
You tossed your virtual graduation hat in the air, and now you're faced with a rocky job market.
The most important thing is to not get caught up in the fear and the panic.
Chris Winfield and Jen Gottlieb, founders of Superconnector Media, say there are 3 things college grads need to be doing right now. For starters, get clear on your career.
Clarity equals confidence. The more clear we are, the more confident we are going to be.
Picture your perfect day at work and then write down what that day would look like in detail.
Where are you working? How are the people around you?
Some of you might know the exact company and position you want, and some of you may only know what industry you want to be in.
So even just having the general idea is better than nothing, having no plan and just settling for whatever.
Next, who's in your network?
Doesn't have to be your business network, doesn't have to be your college network, it's your life network.
This exercise is what they call your top 20.
So you're going to make 4 columns on a piece of paper. In the first column, you're going to do that list of 20 people that could possibly help you get a job where you want to be.
In the next column, you're going to rate that person 1 to 10 on how influential they are. In the next column, 1 to 10 on how likely they are to help you.
So you're going to add up those 2 columns and you'll get a main score in your 4th column. Then you're going to take all those people, all those scores, and sort them in descending order.
Over the next 20 days, you contact one person each day. Just remember to go the extra mile and ask if there's something you can do for them in return.
Because one of the things that we say is the extra mile's never crowded.
Finally, video interviews are the new norm, so get ready for your close-up.
So no one's expecting you to be in a studio or something.
Shoot for good lighting and a clean background. And don't get distracted by your phone or by something on your computer.
That's my biggest pet peeve, is when you can tell somebody's looking around the screen doing other stuff while you're talking to them.
Potential employers want to feel like you're completely engaged. Even if we're living in uncertain times, class of 2020, we've got your back.
In-person high school graduations may be on hold, but senior achievements are still being recognized in some very touching ways. Teresa Strasser has tribute videos on the buzz list. Teresa.
Thank you. High school seniors are being honored with inspiring video tributes like these. First, Dear Class of 2020.
Dear Class of 2020.
Dear Class of 2020.
Dear Class of 2020.
Students all over the country are creating tons of these videos that focus on their generation in an emotional way.
We entered elementary school at the peak of the stock market crash.
We entered middle school after the Boston Marathon bombing.
And we entered high school when mass shootings became normal.
They're finding strength by remembering they've persevered a lot over the past 12 years.
Through every hardship and success,
we've gotten stronger. We've stayed positive.
And we have grown.
And like troubling times in the past, they'll get through this one too, because they're the future.
We are future doctors,
future politicians,
and future athletes.
We are the Class of 2020.
We are the Class of 2020.
Those kids are staying strong during a strange time. Up next, high school highlight reels. Students and faculty members have created a bunch of morale-raising videos that show off good times at pep rallies, assemblies, and sporting events before the quarantine hit, reminding seniors, even though they're gone, they are not forgotten. And some are so well done, they're like short films.
Chase down that career path that you dreamt of as you were a kid. So yeah, God, what a world, man.
Bet whoever made that is going from high school to film school. And third on our list of videos honoring high school graduates, original songs for seniors, like teacher Fred Huck's 2020.
Nobody wanted classes to stop this long. Nobody wanted to miss their senior prom.
And student Jaden Rudloff created an original called Make It to the End with the help of his friends.
We will make it to the end. 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 We will make it to the end.
we've made it to the end of the Buzz List. We've got lots more to come. Stay with us.
We're back. One of the most anticipated parts of graduation day is the speech at the commencement ceremony. But since that won't be happening this year, we have the next best thing. 4 movies with inspiring graduation speeches on the hot list.
Yahoo for school! Many movies have included memorable graduation speeches, so we rounded up 4 with the very best advice for graduates of all ages, starting with the middle school graduation speech in 2011's Crazy Stupid Love.
We can't fight it anymore. We're getting old.
Steve Carell's character's son starts off strong, but then gets, shall we say, a bit pessimistic, causing Carell to step in.
My son's graduation speech sucks.
Luckily, Dad's quite the wordsmith and uses his time to teach everyone a valuable lesson about love.
When you find the one, you never give up.
Now let's head to high school with some wise words from the 2008 vampire flick, Twilight.
This isn't the time to make hard and fast decisions. This is the time to make mistakes. Take the wrong train and get stuck somewhere. Fall in love a lot. Change your mind and change it again, because nothing's permanent.
Anna Kendrick's character inspires her fellow grads, including the vampires, to embrace failure on a quest to find their life's true passions.
So make as many mistakes as you can. That way someday when they ask what we want to be, we won't have to guess. We'll know.
Now, on to the college graduation speech featured in 2001's Legally Blonde.
It is with passion, courage of conviction, and strong sense of self that we take our next steps into the world.
Reese Witherspoon's iconic Elle Woods charmed her way to the Harvard Law School graduation stage, where she reminded everyone to believe in themselves and others too.
You must always have faith in people, and most importantly, you must always have faith in yourself.
And finally, let's check out 2018's Night School.
It wasn't until I met my amazing night school classmates and a teacher that actually believed in me that I was able to accept who I was.
As Kevin Hart's character finally gets his GED, he inspires the audience to never be afraid to go after what might have been.
For any of you who may have struggled to get it right the first time, I'm living proof that you can get it together on a second chance. Anything is possible!
Cheering for the class of 2020 with a little help from Hollywood on the hot list. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to our show honoring the class of 2020. Now, whether they're seniors graduating from high school or college, they are entering a whole new world. So we rounded up some outside of the box, extra well-chosen grad gifts. While coronavirus lockdowns have robbed the class of 2020 a proper graduation ceremony, we have a list of thoughtful graduation gifts that can help ease some of that pain. We'll start with the Gravity Blanket, one of USA Today's top choices in grad gifts this year.
Big secret that not a lot of people know, that sleeping with 10% of your body weight has incredible effects.
John Fiorentino, creator of the Gravity Blanket, says weighted blankets have been clinically proven to help put us at ease. And ironically, the weight of the blanket can help remove the weight of the world.
It feels womb-like.
His recommendation, choose the option closest to 10% of your body weight. Prices start at $189 over on gravityblankets.com. Keeping your grad's gadgets juiced up is our next gift, a portable power bank.
You got to think of power banks as these little portable batteries that basically can store enough power to recharge your devices.
Tech expert Ken Colburn says to buy a battery based on your grad's needs.
Here's a little cylinder style charger with a little USB port on the end. It's not going to charge the phone more than maybe once or twice. It's really more for topping off.
If they have a lot of gadgets, you'll need more power and ports. The trade-off is extra weight and bulk.
In this particular case, I've got one that can connect up to 4 devices.
Ken's advice is to stick to the big name brands. Prices start at about $20 online and in stores. We'll wrap it up by going a little wild with a symbolic critter adoption in the name of your grad. The Rooster Cogburn Ostrich Ranch in Arizona is raising money to feed their ostriches and other animals.
On the Foster and Ostrich program, you get a personalized certificate with your name and your ostrich's name on it.
Owner Dana Cogburn says along with the 1,000 plus ostriches, their bunnies, goats, and lorikeets need to eat too, and each is adoptable.
And with those, you also get a plush animal that comes with them.
One-time donations start at $25. Check out roostercogburn.com for more details. Great gifts for the grad in your life for the class of 2020.
That wraps up our special tribute to the class of 2020.
Yes, so to close things out, Shagun and I dug up our old pictures. This is me from my high school graduation, Sunnyside High School class of 98. Shagun?
Looking good, Christina. This is me graduating from the University of Houston. It was a great day, made even better, standing next to my mom and dad.
Yes, proud parents for sure, as are all of the parents of all of those grads, ceremony or not.
Once again, congratulations to the graduating class of 2020. Thank you for watching The List. See you next time.